Hi friends, I'm Sandip Singh. In this video, I'm going to be talking about time blocking, time boxing, day teaming, and task batching. So let's get started. Let me tell you the difference between all of them. Time blocking is basically a time management tool where essentially you divide your days inside blocks of time. And like each block is made to accomplish a specific task. So this is an example of how time blocking actually looks like. And as you can see, there's different colors for a different task. Now task batching, it goes along with time blocking, but task batching is basically dividing all your tasks that you have, like today, put the same kind of task together. So like let's say I have like a team meeting of like a Java assignment at 10 to 11. So since I have that meeting at 10 to 11, then maybe like 9 to 10, I would have that task to do that assignment. So like 9 to 10, I have to do that Java assignment, and then 10 to 11, I have that meeting which talks about that Java assignment. So task batching is basically grouping all of the similar tasks together. And day teaming is quite an extreme way of a time management kind of technique. Day teaming is like for people who are really busy when doing a specific task. So if that task is extremely important, they will take a long time to actually do that task. For example, day teaming would be like spending the whole day on like one specific task. So like maybe on Monday, you would do like programming, and like Tuesday, you have to write an essay. So you're basically spending that whole day on doing one task. And then there's time boxing. Now time boxing, it's a bit different from time blocking. Time boxing is basically setting a limit to your task. For example, time blocking, you don't actually set a limit. You just like think that like maybe 9 to 11 you'll do this thing, but it's not like a must to actually finish it. Whereas time boxing, it is a must to actually finish it at like 11 a.m. So maybe you have an essay to write and you plan to do it at like 9 to 11, but like at 11 you must literally be done by your essay, and that is time boxing. And there is some benefit of doing time boxing where it counteracts perfectionism. So even if your essay is not done by 11 a.m., because of time boxing, you have to finish it by then. So sometimes it won't actually be perfect, and that is fine if like the thing which you're doing is really good enough. Okay, so now let me talk more in detail about each of the time management technique. Now here is an example of a person who does not use time blocking. I think most of us don't really use time blocking, so this is how it looks like. And this is how it looks like for a person who does do time blocking. As you can see, for a person who does not do time blocking, you can see that there are more chunks of blocks, and each of the blocks look slightly smaller than a person who does do time blocking. And this is because like I think most of us, we don't actually plan out our day. So like maybe like at 12 to 1 you're meeting out with your friends, so like you plan to do some work in the morning. So from 8 to 9 you might plan out to do this assignment, but then suddenly you remember that like you have another assignment which you haven't submitted. So like 9 to 10 you'll do the other assignment, and like before you know it, the time to go out with your friends has come, and you haven't really completed a task because you have been changing from one task to another. So this is where time blocking actually works, where since at 1 p.m. you'll be going out with your friends, so like from 8 to 12 you can just focus on one specific task, and then there's a higher chance of you actually finishing the task, which makes you feel better when you go out with your friends. And when you actually plan for like some amount of time to actually do a specific task, you are more likely to actually use more of your mental power to actually do that task. Because if we don't actually plan out our day, we won't really know what are the important things we have to actually do. So you might be just moving from one task to another, but if we actually plan our day, we would know that I have to do this task, and you basically have a lot of your mental power to actually focus on the task than like worrying what other tasks are actually important. So time blocking actually enhances deep work, but it is hard to actually know how much time you should actually spend on that specific task. Like for example, programming, you might think that a simple project might just take you 1 hour, but instead it like takes you 5 hours to actually do that project, and it might be painful at first because you can't figure it out. But even if you don't figure it out and it takes a longer time, you can still make another chunk of block of that task the next day. There's some good apps which allow you to actually measure the amount of time you actually do a specific task. I'll give you some of them. There's an app called Toggle, and there's another one called Rescue Time. And now for time blocking, I wouldn't advise you to be too rigid. So maybe like from 12 to 1, you should like focus on this, and like maybe 1:05 to like 2, you should focus on this. But instead, after like you finish a specific task, or like after you have done like one task for a long time, take some breaks in between. And you should also make sure that in between your chunks of blocks, there should be some sort of leeway where you can also be able to do something else in case like something happens. So you should also be able to like revise new plans and stuff like that in case something new happens. And then time boxing is good to overcome perfectionism, because you are fixed to a deadline, just like how assignments are fixed to a deadline. And it's important to not be a perfectionist, because no one is actually a perfectionist in the world. We just try to do our best, and that is already good enough. So like maybe today, I advise you to like plan out your task that you want to do tomorrow, and like just group the similar tasks together. Try and use the calendar app, and try and sort out maybe from like 9 to 10 or 11 to do a specific task, and then do a similar task after that. Or maybe like take a half an hour break or something, and then maybe like from 1 to like 2 or 1 to like 3 do another task, and so on. And even if you don't actually manage to finish the task inside that period of time, that is completely alright. That will just make you better for the next day. And like maybe you can use the app like Toggle, which allows you to track your time, and like you'll see, alright, this task actually takes longer than expected. You estimate the time again for the next day. But when you actually try to do a task, try and focus your mental power on that task, and don't worry about other tasks that you have, because those tasks can be done later. When the time comes, just focus on the task, and then when the time is up, try and do another task, and so on. And in case a new matter comes up, then it's alright to rearrange your chunks of blocks. Don't worry about that. There's always some unpredictable kind of matters which occurs, and it's alright to reorganize your blocks again. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give a like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Goodbye.